Greetings, everyone. I hope that all of you are keeping cool in this extremely hot weather. It's hot where I live. I live in Superior, Wisconsin. It's not too bad when you get in the wind, but our humidity is very, very high up here. So it's just kind of a lot. I love the warm weather, but it's just a little too much for me. So what I want to talk to you all about today is narcissists do not want you happy. I was thinking about what would be my next narcissistic or narcissist topic, and I was thinking about something that had happened to me, and I thought, they do not want you happy. And anyone who's gone through it knows. And I personally believe if you are around a person like this, there has to be some narcissism, because what kind of person who supposedly cared about you or your welfare would not want you to be happy or healthy or making good money or getting into a good, healthy, happy, romantic relationship? I was just thinking about some of the narcissists that I've dealt with in the last, 30-something years. And it's like, I think Ali talked about it. They rain on your parade. So, and I'm not going to go over and over with the graduation, but I'm going to use this just once. You graduated college, you worked your butt off, you're so excited. You're the first one in your family to get a college degree, and there's no response. Or, oh, anybody could get that degree, or it's not that hard. You know what I mean? It's always the dig. It's always the dig. And a lot of times it comes from people who haven't accomplished it themselves. Not that getting a college degree is all it's cracked up to be. I'm proud of mine, but trust me, it's not, anyways. So another thing that they'll do, especially I think of, like if you have a so-called friend and you get into a romantic relationship that's really great. Like he's treating you like the bomb. He's treating you with kindness, courtesy, love, respect. And you're just on top of cloud nine. And what they'll do is they'll start to insert doubts into your mind. Are you sure about this? How do you know he doesn't have a lover on the side? Crazy stuff like that. And it's not from reality. It's from, they're so jealous of your happiness. They can't have you happy. It's just not, they don't want it. They do not want you to be happy. Have you guys ever been somewhere? Have you ever been somewhere and you're just so happy? You're just having a good time. You're laughing, joking around with people, enjoying life, enjoying the weather, enjoying your pets, the animals around you, the park, the green grass, whatever it is. They will do something to upset you, or they always do something to mess it up. They might say something like, oh, that's great and all, but I got shit to do. We got to go. You know what I mean? So it's like they dampen all the happiness. And inside of themselves, they're jealous because they'll never have that. They know they're not like us. I've had that happen to me so many times. It's just very sad. And back then, before I knew what narcissism was or toxicity, I would just try my best to stay away from people like that, if I could. Oh, a real classic. A lot of women, we've gone through this. You guys know. You're losing weight. Me personally, I've been up and down the scale, and I don't even know where I'm at now, but there's a lot of foods I can't eat, so that's automatic weight loss. And I'm trying to eat healthier than that, but I can't exercise like I used to. But we've all been through it. You know, you're losing some weight, you're feeling just freaking amazing about yourself. You're just loving your little cute figure, and the jealous one is going to say something nasty. Well, you know, Jenny Craig doesn't work for everyone. You know, something like that. Or, well, it's easy to lose weight when you have a trainer. Or, it's easy to lose weight if your husband pays for everything. It's always something. It's always something. It's not because you're resisting the urge to stuff cake in your face, is it? Right? It's always like that. I remember one comment that I used to get, "Oh, it must be nice." And that was a long time ago. Because I had my own paycheck when I was in the military. Like I said, it's a long time ago. Yeah, it's nice because I'm working. I'm in the military. I have my own money. I was by no means rich, but they always have to just take away your shine, man. They got to put you down. Or if they don't put you down directly, they're going to say, like I said, "Oh, that's great and all that you can just laugh and skip around, but we got shit to do. Let's go." You know what I mean? They will just, boom, like just rain on your parade. I'm grateful I never got into a marriage with someone in which I had children with a narcissist. I'm glad. Oh my goodness, it's got to be hard. I understand that a lot of times the narcissistic partner, whether it's woman or man, is jealous of the baby or the child. It's sick. But again, they just, it doesn't matter what you talk about. They have to, like even your tone of voice, like if you've got like, you're like, "Oh my goodness, this is going to be an amazing day." They're going to be like, "No, it's not." It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what is going on. Did you hear what happened on the news? Did you hear that we're all gonna die or whatever it is? Oh, I'm telling you guys, one of my favorite things to do, because I'm a little, I'm different. Just put it like that. And I think I've covered this before, but I'm telling you guys, you got to try it. So way before I understood what narcissism was, I didn't know what it was. I just knew there were people that were like sourpuss face. You know what I mean? Just, like, what was that Christmas movie? Ebenezer Scrooge, or whatever his name was. You go to the grocery store, the shopping mall, wherever you're at, right? Me, I'm very friendly. I just am. And I'll be like, "Hello." And then they just like, grr. They're like, look down at the ground, grr. Everything's just grr. I'm telling you guys, give it a few seconds and look at them and laugh as loud as you've ever laughed in your life. I've done this like a lot of times. It is freaking hysterical. And then they look at you like, "What the F," you know? It's funny. Because back then when I started doing it, I got a weird sense of humor anyways, but I knew they were doing it on purpose. So I kind of was like not going to let them get away with it. It's great. It's really great. And if you got a partner or a friend girl of yours and you guys are just together in the store, do it together. It's freaking hysterical. It's hysterical. But they do not want you happy. Or it might even be like, you're content. You're content. Let's say you got the job that you wanted. It's chill. There's no stress, not real terrible stress. And you work with cool people. Or you bought the new house. You and your husband have been saving for years for it. And you're like, finally. And you feel so freaking happy. And you got the blueprints. And you guys are deciding how to design your house. And you guys are just on top of the world. they will be so jealous, they're going to just sour the mood. They're going to just like say you and your hubby are talking about it with friends or family. They're just going to be like, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's good. That's good. They can never be happy for you. I think a lot of people that act like this are in lack mentality. Not to say I haven't been in lack mentality. I totally have. I work on it every day to be more abundant. I'm not where I want to be, but it's something I work on constantly. But it's like this lack mentality that they could never have it. And then you get like a real wealthy narcissist. And Dr. Romani, I listened to one of her videos not long ago. She was talking about, she's so funny. She had gone to some rinky-dink party with all these really prestigious, like millionaire, extremely wealthy people. Like, not all wealthy people are like this, but the ones she was around were like super narcissistic. And they had cars and they had all this and fancy clothes and fancy houses and fancy this and that and butlers and servants, and none of them were happy. So it's like the narcissistic wealthy person is going to just be a sourpuss. That's crazy to me. Like, that's crazy. Of course, that's a different topic, but you can have people that are very wealthy and they got a lot of, they might have been sexually abused or something. So I don't think anybody gets out of this matrix, unscathed. But they just cannot have you happy. They can't have you happy. Years ago, I used to like to dance a lot. I'm by no means, I'm not a professional dancer. And I'm trying to get back to it, just in my own way. And the people that I was around, more toxic, narcissistic types, they would always make fun of me dancing. Because I would get on the dance floor and dance by myself. And usually it would just take a few minutes and guys would come up and dance with me. But I didn't need somebody to dance with me because I loved dance so much. And yeah, I suppose it was kind of funny. But they would say I was dancing with Simon. I guess it is kind of funny. But it's just, why can't you be happy, right? Why can't you be happy that I'm happy? That I'm enjoying myself? I'm having a good time. They can't do that. They will embarrass you. They will embarrass you. They will take something that was very traumatic to you or hurtful, which should be confidential, and they will bring it up in front of a huge group of people at a party. And you're just sitting there mortified that they just shared this with everyone. That's what they do, man. That's what they do. They will tell you you're being too sensitive. They will tell you, can't you take a joke? They will say, I never said that, which is gaslighting. They will say, yeah, it's great that you guys are building a house, but how much is that going to cost you? Or, something to minimize and make it not so great, right? To kind of put it down, put you down. And I do talk about the ignoring part a lot, but I'm a little bit obsessed with it because I've realized it's a huge, huge thing they do. So now if I'm around people that just ignore me, I just start laughing or I listen to my music. I mean, when you think about it, people that are doing that, they don't mean shit anyways. But it's, to me, I acknowledge it because I think it's kind of funny. Imagine being so insecure about yourself or mean that you have to do that to people. It's just really screwed up, They will ruin your wedding day. They will ruin your graduation day. They will ruin Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever it is. So, you got to plan accordingly. Like in my world and in little utopia world, I would say no contact. But I understand a lot of people can't do that. So that's when you go listen to Dr. Ramani. She's got all kinds of, I believe she talks about radical acceptance, which it took me years to understand that. I did not understand. I did not understand it. It took me many years to understand what she was talking about. But you got to find pockets of happiness for yourself. You can't externalize your happiness. Like, your happiness and joy cannot rely on another person, another event, another job, another place, another time, another vacation. Not that you can't look forward to those things, but you have to create the happiness inside of you. And I work at it. I mean, I have days where I'm sad or I'm upset, of course. But I found that if I'm around a narcissistic person or just a toxic, nasty, and they just don't want me to be happy, me being the way I am, I just like crank it up. I'm like, I just get even more happy and giddy and be more of myself. It just drives them nuts. And then usually I'll leave, like I don't want to be around people like that. But to me, being the way I am, it's like I don't want to show them that they've affected me in any way, which really usually they don't anyways, but they will try. It's like a toddler jumping up and down, holding their breath. They want their way, they want their way, they want their way. And when you don't give into it, do they freaking get mad. And some of them, you got to be careful because some of them are dangerous. So, it depends on what kind of narcissist you're dealing with. Some of them, you got to be real careful. Me personally, I saw a lot of narcissistic traits in some of these celebrities that I don't want to say names because I don't want to get sued, but a very high profile case right now in which there was a lot of S abuse and all kinds of craziness, almost to the point of being a psychopath. And I'm not a psychiatrist, but just look up the definition in a book or on Google or wherever. You can see the traits, It's weird though. It's like, to me, it's like a form of vampirism. Like I've seen, okay, put it like this. I'm going to go back to the day because it's a good example. Go back to the day when you're like young and having a good old time and you're out with your friends, you're partying, just laughing it up and, talking back way before cell phones. And you always had that one girl, like from high school or, even if you guys were out of high school, it was like a few years after, you always had that idiot that had to make a scene. Remember that? Oh, I couldn't stand it. And so like maybe you and your friends are just, sitting around having a few beers and just talking about life. And then you get this one, why does she get all the attention? You know what I mean? Am I not pretty? Or, some idiotic stuff. And then they'll start throwing a big, huge fit, crying and acting ignorant, which I personally think is kind of like borderline. But borderline, there's a lot to being a borderline. But I mean, it's like that histrionic, which I knew somebody very well that had that. It's not fun being around them. But the point was that they can't have you guys happy. Like you're just chilling. You're having a good old time. You're out in nature. You hear the birds and, the animals around you. And you're just sitting around a campfire. And it's because they're so insecure about themselves. They feel like any attention that you get is taking attention away from them. Which what they don't understand is that there's enough attention to go around. You know what I mean? But it's, it's like they got to ruin the happiness and the contentness and the chillness. Oh, some of them cannot stand like a chill, relaxed environment. It makes them nervous because then they have to sit and like do a little bit of thinking about who they are, or it might require some deep reflection, which a lot of them just don't have. It's really weird. But they will just... So let me think. The ways that they don't want you to be happy. These are the things that they do. to put a wrench in your happiness. Minimize you, minimize your accomplishments, minimize the house you're buying. They will ignore you. It's their one of their favorites. They will take the attention away from you and put it on them by creating a scene. They will just ruin your holidays. They love that. Ruin your birthday, whatever it is. And I like what Dr. Ramani and a lot of people say, just don't tell them much. Do not tell these folks a lot about you. But anyways, those are the ones I can think of. Those are some of the main ones. And I notice too, if I look back throughout my life, if you remember situations in your life that were like that, where somebody had to just throw all the attention on them, and or like men, a lot of times they'll just start throwing stuff around and having a big scene. People that have any common sense will just start to ignore them, and just a lot of times they'll just leave if they have the option to just go home or get away from them. They just know they don't want to be around that craziness. So anyways, I hope that this was helpful. It is a very big one, and I hope you guys all have a good day or good night, wherever you are. Peace.